Waves symbolize the ocean's power, warning of the dangers it conceals. Very few marine animals venture into these raging waters. Only the dolphin dares. Even then, only the bottlenose dolphin. Surf virtuosos, bottlenose dolphins devote several hours each day to their aquatic games. Games that they always play in groups. Bottlenose dolphins do nothing without each other. The community is their strength and everything relies on it. Rearing the young, defending the group, and especially hunting. Bottlenose dolphins are exceptionally gifted hunters. For us, dolphins evoke peaceful, playful animals that inspire affection. Their reputations are very different on the other side of the fence. In the Gulf of Mexico, the razorfish that populate the sandbanks have definitely identified bottlenose dolphins. To them, they are merciless killers. To locate its prey, the dolphin has at its disposal a sonar system of surprising efficiency, echolocation. It gives out clicks with its larynx, ultrasounds which are amplified by the piles of fat situated under its forehead. When the sound waves hit an obstacle, they are echoed back to the brain, which analyzes them. When the dolphin detects the presence of a razorfish, it increases the frequency of clicks to obtain a clear sonar image. In other words, the dolphin sees its prey with its ears through the sand, then digs it out. This is called crater feeding. It is difficult for us to imagine the precision with which dolphins, and incidentally the greater part of cetaceans, perceive their environment. Echolocation is comparable to ultrasound, but it provides even more distinct images. The sounds emitted by dolphins do not all have the same function. The clicks are used for echolocation, but there are also yelps and whistles which are part of everyday language. It even seems that each dolphin lets out its own personal whistle, a signature of sorts, but this is still only a hypothesis. The biological sonar is an extremely perfected tool, but one still has to know how to use it. The young dolphins learn from their mothers by imitation. To locate, to observe, to grab the prey at the right moment, all of these skills passed on from generation to generation have turned the bottlenose dolphin into super predator. We believe that relatives within a group try to perfect and to teach each other new hunting techniques, including those specific to other environments. Sometimes in tropical zones like here in Florida, the coastal belt does not form a clear boundary with the ocean. These coastal zones are an interlacing of inlets and small islands covered in forest, mangrove, a profusion of plants whose roots feed on salt water. These warm, calm waters are brimming with life. Plankton, crustaceans, fish prosper in the mangrove as in a paradise in which nothing lacks. Such abundance also attracts predators, and the most dangerous here remains the bottlenose dolphin. Always organized in commandos, bottlenose dolphins cause havoc in the schools of striped mullet. The mangrove waters are muddy, opaque, and the underwater visibility is zero. But this is of no importance to the dolphins with their sonar. A few individuals, the sentries, circle the school of fish. Their aim being to frighten the mullets and force them to form in the middle of the circle a more compact group. Flapping tails cause terrible underwater detonations, ideal for panicking the mullets. Once the fish are brought together in a compact group, the sentries force them to rise towards the surface. There, they are trapped, and the assailants make their move. Tail whacks from below are enough to knock a mullet senseless. It is launched high into the air and falls back into the water. With a very developed sense of hearing, the dolphin has no problem locating the fish. One of the characteristic features of the bottlenose dolphin is its faculty of adaptation, and certain communities are voluntarily nomadic. This implies that they sometimes have to learn different hunting techniques. Further north, on the Atlantic coast in South Carolina, the mangroves give way progressively to mudbanks planted with high grass. There again, the dolphins find an abundance of mullet, but they have to perfect another method to capture them. It happens that groups of dolphins disperse in the inlets. Certain individuals then try to hunt the mullet alone, unsuccessfully. The solitary hunter finally decides to send for the group. It locates a silty beach uncovered by the low tide and goes to look for the others. This time, it is not the surface of the water that serves as a barrier to corner the fish, but the mounds of silt. This is called beach feeding. When the tide rises and covers the beaches, the hunt is over. The bottlenose dolphin cannot corner the fish in the long grass. Brown-headed gulls take advantage of the bottlenose dolphin's feasts with impunity. But the quantities that they steal are minimal in comparison to what the dolphins consume daily, 5 to 8 kilos of fish per individual. Group hunting guarantees great efficiency. Bottlenose dolphins spend only 10% of their time hunting. That leaves them plenty of time to do something else. In the coastal zones of the Gulf of Mexico, herons are the witness to other exploits of the bottlenose dolphin. Surfing the bow waves of ships, that is how bottlenose dolphins like to spend their free time. Between two boats, dolphins prefer the one that makes the biggest wave. For them, the king of ships is the oil tanker. Their ultimate goal consists of using the force of the wave to their best advantage, to move about with the least possible effort. Those jumps may be to gain more speed. Every fraction of a second spent in the air, where resistance is less than in water, speeds the race and represents an economy of energy. Defying danger, entire communities move rapidly in this way from one place to another according to their desires and their needs. Bottlenose dolphins populate all the oceans of the world, with the exception of the polar areas. One of the most isolated sedentary communities is that of Rangiroa, a coral atoll in the Tuamotu archipelago in Polynesia. A pod of 20 individuals has colonized these turquoise waters. Like all bottlenose dolphins, they form a hierarchical society made up of subgroups: females with young, a group of males, and a mixed group of youths. Conversations, acrobatic competitions, chasing games, these social rituals are part of the normal life of the bottlenose dolphin. The Rangiroa community, however, experiences something different. It can happen that in their coastal waters they meet groups of long-snouted spinner dolphins. These come from the open sea and can reach speeds of 40 kilometers per hour. The spinners are distinctly smaller than the bottlenose. They have a more elongated rostrum and often a large light patch on the flank. One day, a young spinner strayed when its group was crossing the Rangiroa waters. Separated from its mother, it had no chance of survival alone. Seeing it in distress, the bottlenose dolphins immediately adopted it, in spite of the physical and cultural differences. The sound emissions of the spinner are not the same as those of the bottlenose. That does not hold it back, however, and it communicates with its adopted family by body language. and it learns to live in these coastal waters, so different from the open sea. The Rangiroa Lagoon is a coral belt cut by two channels. In these waters, stirred up by the currents, the marine life is of a rare intensity. Species that normally live in the high seas are carried by the currents to the lagoons in spite of themselves. Among others, jellyfish. Sea snakes also let themselves be carried away. This one is highly poisonous. Its bite kills almost instantaneously. The presence of a sea snake is quickly detected by the dolphins. The sentries take care of clearing it out. Is this snake really hunted down, or is it simply an excuse for a game? Finally, the snake is led away without incident. But all this agitation was noticed from out in deep water by one of the dolphin's most dangerous predators, the white-tipped shark. These sharks often attack bottlenose babies. A defense commando goes into action. First of all, two sentries, who are going to try to force the shark to go back to where it came from. Apparently, the intimidation maneuver led by the two sentries is not enough. One of them goes in search of reinforcements at the surface. During this time, 50 meters below, the psychological warfare continues. Another sentry has come to help the first. They must absolutely not stop harassing the shark. The dolphins try to disorientate the shark by swimming around him in every direction at top speed. To impress it, and perhaps also to gain some time while waiting for the reinforcements. Here are the reinforcements. They are going to force the enemy into the depths. At a depth of 70 meters, the shark finally gives in. At the surface, the young calf celebrates the shark's defeat with leaps and capers. Certain researchers believe that dolphins dream. In any case, it is certain that they sleep, a total of 8 hours a day, but in discontinuous periods lasting from 5 minutes to 2 hours. According to certain cytologists, dolphins are awake even as they sleep. That is because their two cerebral hemispheres are dissociated while they sleep. One ensures the tonicity of the body, the muscle activity that governs breathing and locomotion. The other rests. By changing position, the sleeper inverses the roles. The half of the brain that was sleeping becomes active, and vice versa. During the resting period, there are always a few individuals to mount guard and to assure the security of the group. The spinner dolphin has perfectly adapted to the bottlenose way of life. It takes its turn on guard like the others. The force of the currents in the Rangiroa channels is phenomenal. No man would dare to surf these waves. For the bottlenose dolphins, however, there is nothing better. They haughtily ignore the danger. What matters is to play together, to measure themselves against each other like athletes. These contests of skill help establish hierarchical relationships and bond friendships. A Tahitian legend tells how this community of bottlenose dolphins appeared in Polynesia. The king of Raiatea Island had 12 sons, 12 princes. One day a cyclone carried away all the princes, who were playing in a river. The ocean transformed them into dolphins, the dolphin kings. The bottlenose dolphins certainly deserve this title, be it only for their impressive talent in hunting and surfing.